We are at the end of April here in Szpakowo to round out the work for the month. We have another cornfield to plant, some fertilizing to do, cattle to feed, a fun little tractor to drive, and oh yeah, I may just have forgotten something worth a lot of money down at the silage sale point. You can find a link to this series in the description or in the comments below, and of course, check out the channel page for other farming series you might like. We've got corn planted in our fields down by the silo that we were working on earlier in April. And actually, that's where we're headed now because I want to put some fertilizer down, and I'll show you what that's about. And also, we got one more field to plant corn on, and it's going to need some fertilizer as well. Oh yes, and yeah, I hear the cows mooing. We have to take care of the cattle some. They definitely need some feed. So today, yeah, we'll be mixing some feed for the cattle here at the end of April. But first, I want to head down to the field down here. We've got some equipment out that kind of needs to be put away. I'd like to roll this field down here where I planted the corn, and I'll show you guys. We got all the corn planted. Yeah, so again, yeah, at the end of April, what we got to do that's left is work on the northern field, get it planted with corn, and feed the cattle. So this is all planted, but I would like to go over it with a roller. We've got a roller, but it's kind of small. This field's pretty big now that you see it, like, yeah, now that I'm seeing it, like, all, wow, done and planted and everything. Oh, this is impressive. This is going to be, later this year, this is going to be really, really, really cool. Yeah, there's some parts of this field that are not fertilized, and it's kind of, it's where I've rolled, and I'll tell you why. This area right here is missing a stage of fertilizer. This area right here that's been rolled, and the same kind of mirror area of this field over on that half over there. It's these corners right here. So what I did was, after planting the corn, which laid down fertilizer, there's a couple places that are not fertilized. And so what we're going to do is I rolled it, and then it should take fertilizer here. You know, we'll see about that. It's probably easier if I just show you. So yeah, you can see right here after planting it, this right here and this right here shows it's missing a stage of fertilizer. So I went over and I ran the roller over this. If I go here, you should be able to see, yeah, you can see right here where I ran the roller. So that means it should take the fertilizer there because now it's had another stage of work done to it, if that makes any sense. We're going to see here. First, we don't need all this working with. We're just going to take this down to, yeah, just down to there. All right, so we're going to lay this down, see if this is working, if this is putting it down, and if not, then we'll come through next month. I believe we also need fertilizer on the wheat field, and that's what I was going to use this fertilizer spreader for, but wheat has started growing, so we'll want to check on that, and because it started growing, we're going to run over it with something with narrow tires. So yeah, that didn't work as I'd hoped. It did not. I thought that running over it with the roller would allow it to take fertilizer, but it didn't. That's okay. We'll just hit this next month when the corn has started growing. That's all right. So let's go have a look at the wheat. Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to do. At the end of April, trying to tie everything up. We got some equipment sitting out here, which kind of needs to be dealt with. Oh, these bales. I forgot about these bales. You recall, earlier this month, we took these down to try to sell them, and they were not fermented all the way. Let's see. They are now. Okay, we need to head down there and check that out. So that silage should all be fermented. Now, if you recall, we left it right at the sale point because it wouldn't take it because it wasn't yet fermented. It should be now, but it hasn't sold or anything automatically, you know, because the money hasn't moved, and that's why I forgot that it was there. I mean, also, it's, you know, it's a couple miles away down here at the silage sale point, so I forgot about it. Luckily, we got the front loader here, so we can move the bales into the sale point if we're going to have to. Yeah, it's still sitting here. And I estimated this could be like $60,000. This is certainly, yeah. All right, let's see what we can do about this. We might have to shift these around to get them to sell. I'm not sure why. Yep. All right, so we're just going to have to shift these around. This is going to take a minute here. There's another one, maybe? No, I didn't want to, see if I can get this to, there we go. Now, I wonder if just moving these would be enough, or if we have to pick everyone up and drop it off. Let me see if I can just push them. I think they need to move to register it, is the thing. So we're going to see if we can push these. Of course, that's a lot of weight. Possibly more weight than this tractor can push. I don't know. Alright, that was genius. That's working. And yeah, it's almost more weight. Oh, I know what we can do. You know what we can do? We can lower this down. There we go. And this should work better. Alright. How much money did we have? I think we had about... I didn't look. I think we had like 157,000 before we started this. I'll see when I'm in editing. Alright, let's turn this around and push them the other way. Yeah, I feel silly for taking these down here before they were all the way fermented, but yeah, if you saw last episode, I totally didn't realize because, when you do the silage contracts, they just have you take it down directly. Alright, these are going to take a second. They're not wanting to register it right away. So, let's get back over here. Because I don't want to move every single bale individually with the loader, but I might have to. But we need this money because I want to get us another tractor. I mentioned before that there's a used tractor I saw at the dealership. I'd like to see if we can make an offer on it before it's, well, before someone else does, obviously. And maybe next episode we'll have a look at that, because we're going to be busy the rest of April here. Alright, so I'm going to get the rest of these into the sale point because I'm kind of trying to talk while I do this, but they're not wanting to go. So I'm going to have to move these with the loader, I think. Okay, I'm going to move some of these over here out of the way. We're going to do some very... Oh, great. Oh, now they're rolling everywhere. Oh, of course they are. They're round bales. Well, I figured if I could move them, like, away from the sell point. Between this and feeding the cattle, I guess we're going to be working with a decent amount of silage today. But we still do need to get corn planted, because this is the last day in April. Yeah, I just want to get some of these cleared out. See if I can move two more out of the way here. So, pro tip, always make sure your silage is all the way fermented before you take it to the sell point. Alright, let's see if it will take any of these now. No, I think we're going to have to pull it all off and put it back. So, I'll move the rest of these off. What a hassle this has become. Alright, took those two. There we go. I guess we just had to move some off of the sale point there. Now we can go ahead and get the rest of these moved over here. And just going to have to... Well, gonna have to do some loader work, I guess. This tractor is incredibly slow at changing directions. Yeah, it makes it like slightly not the best loader for that reason, because it's a manual transmission. I've mentioned it before, but yeah, it's when you're in a hurry trying to move this tractor back and forth, I tend to get really impatient. Like, come on, move forward, move forward already. It's not the fastest machine at reversing direction when you're trying to do things like this really quick, because we've got, well, actually we've only got 4 more bales after this, I think. drop off. And trust me, next time I will be, not bringing bales down here that aren't done yet. Yeah. Okay, not a good idea. Let's see. Yeah, let's try pushing these. Try to save some time here. Let's lower the fertilizer again. See if I can just push this. There we go. And then those last 2 bales, which are already on the trailer, we'll just take those to the sell point that's closest to our house, because it's, you know, it's literally like a quarter mile down the road. All right. There we go. All right, so, okay, so it's more like 40-something thousand. There's still 2 bales left, so, yeah, we'll have 50-some thousand from selling the bales. That's awesome, because, there's a used Fendt tractor I saw at the dealership. I'd like to make an offer on that if it's still there. We'll check on that at the beginning of next month probably, and we'll see. And I want to have some money to do that. Also, next month, well, that's next month. I was going to say next month we might be selling some soybeans and corn possibly, but yeah, again, that's we'll worry about that next time. For today, see, taking care of the cattle and planting corn. Yeah, I'm just trying to kind of go over it in my head. Things that we've done this month since last episode. I've done some work on neighboring fields. A couple small contracts I did. One was cultivating, fertilizing. There's not much work. Last time I checked, that was it for the contracts. There's literally no other contracts we can do this month. I guess no one needs baling. Yeah, the grass has not grown yet. It hasn't grown in yet this year. So, you know, this map is all about the baling contracts, and with the grass not growing yet, there's just really not much work to be done. So we're gonna head back to the farm, and yeah, let's plant some corn, because I do want to feed our cattle. We're going to do that. However, I'm kind of loadered out right now. Is that a word, loadered? Yeah. I'm kind of tired out from using the loader at the moment, so we'll go plant some corn. So I just wanted to take a second here and thank you guys for watching this video, and to say that most of the people watching this video are not subscribed, and it would be great and help the channel so much if you'd click that subscribe button if you enjoy the content here. If you think the channel here looks like a channel with more than 1,000 subs, why not sub and help me get to that number? Thanks. Oh, so here's our wheat field up here, of course. I haven't checked on it this month. I've been so busy. So here's our wheat field. I forgot to check on it this month. And fertilize. Yeah, it needs a stage of fertilizer. We're going to have to find something with narrow wheels to run over this and fertilize it. Or, well, it's either that or set this fertilizer to full working width and try to get it in one strip. But that's going to tear up 2 pretty wide tire tracks through this field. I mean, it's an already pretty narrow field. I think the best thing to do is just lease a tractor for the job. I think it's going to be the thing to do. Yeah, I just rent a tractor with narrow wheels. You know, it really is a contingency that I should have prepared for, having a tractor with narrow wheels. Something I should have thought of. But it's a need that I've come across so rarely that, I've been able to avoid that, really. I came down here to get the corn planter. We're going to want to take this fertilizer and the corn planter up to the northern field. We have been fertilizing with manure. We could take manure up there. It's just whoa. Sorry, this thing's kind of heavy. I didn't account for it around that turn. Yeah, no, it actually is. Like, making abrupt steering inputs into the tractor causes the front wheels to come off the ground just a little bit. This fertilizer is a little heavy for such a light tractor. So we'll take the turns more carefully. So yeah, we want to get this and the corn planter up north. Yeah, so we've been doing it with manure, but we already have this right here. It's already loaded. So we'll just take this up north. We'll just put this on the front of the tractor. Actually, yeah, we were going to, but I was thinking, all right, so we've got this set up to use with the big bud. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was thinking we could put the fertilizer on the front of the tractor and take it and the planter up, but you know what? The planter is already set to work with the big bud, so we'll just run these up separately, I guess. I was going to try to do it in one trip, just this tractor, but... So I'm going to get this stuff run up to our northern field, and we can do some corn planting. You know, I just had this thought. You know, I've remarked before when I was working in that field that it's basically... Yeah, I'm still down here. I haven't gone anywhere. Well, I've remarked before that that field is basically just right across this little creek from here. See, I always access it from up north, but really it comes down here, and it should be like right here. Yeah, it is. There's this grass field here, which I've talked about buying before. There's this grass field, and then, yeah, the field's right here. We can actually access it from... Yeah, just right there. Yeah, I've talked about buying this grass field because then we can just access it from right here. Now, parts of this field need to be fertilized. Yeah, so I'll go down and get the planter in a second. It's not a big deal to run it up here because... yeah. So I just checked, and yeah, some of this needs fertilizer. So we're going to make sure we've got the width set to full. There we go. And I know about where it's missing fertilizer. Should be like, you know, let's just turn this on through here. This will cover it. Oh, yeah, you can see exactly where it needs it. Perfect. Basically, the part that was not part of the recent expansion, if that makes sense. You can see where the expansion was. Yeah, we need to get here. And this should take it, I think, I'll have to check. I think this will take the whole field to an even, like, one stage of fertilization. We'll see. And we'll want to... So that means, since we're going to plant corn this month here, that means we're going to have to come over this also with a tractor with narrow wheels. Yeah, again, something I didn't even look into when I bought this tractor. This tractor is great, but... Yeah, it doesn't have that option for the wheels. Kind of silly, if you ask me. And that should be about it here. Now there's one bit up here that we missed. Oh yeah, I see rocks down here, and it reminds me, there was a comment recently on, I think it was the last video, something about why didn't I remove rocks from the field down south. Well, earlier in the series, we tried to, and it wouldn't work. Nothing did it. The rocks that are down there now are medium rocks, yeah, because nothing was done about them, and the rocks down there have kind of compounded. They are now medium rocks, so we'd have to use a rock picker. Earlier in the series, I tried with a rock picker and a roller when they were just small and nothing worked. I think it was just that one field, though. I don't know. It could be an issue with the map. Don't know. This field here has just small rocks. We're going to roll this after we plant it, and it should be fine because they're just small rocks. But to answer that, to respond to that comment, tried. And field 103 down south, just could not get the rocks up, not even with a rock picker. So that's why. Okay, so the area that we just fertilized here is now at one state of fertilization. So after we plant, so next month, we'll come over, yeah. And what we'll do is, let's go ahead and let's take this fertilizer back, or let's get out here with the planter. We're going to plant corn, and then we're going to want to check into renting a tractor with narrow wheels to fertilize our wheat field, and we'll probably have to do the same thing, I guess, next month to fertilize this to roll out here over the crops. And this right here, yeah, this is kind of why I want to buy this grass field. I wonder how much it would cost. We can't afford it right now. I just checked. They want $100,000. They want $100,124 for this grass field. It'd be really handy to have it because it would connect directly back here, but it's okay. It's something that is not needed. We can just roll over this grass and get back to our tractor yard back here. While we're back here, we need to move some of this equipment. This equipment here is piling up because, well, you know, I was doing work back here, and it's easier just to leave the equipment where you're working with it. You know, it's easier not to put stuff away, right? Well, yeah, of course, but we're going to have this stuff put away because next month this corn is going to be growing up, and yeah, we need this space right here to drive in. So I'm going to run these 2 bales down just right over there, right across on the other side of that field to the bale sell point, and they'll buy these last 2 bales of silage from us. All right, and this bale trailer is really hard to maneuver through this gate here. Let's see if we can get in here without tearing up his fence. It's a great bale loader. Man, it is long. There's not a whole lot of choice of bale loaders for round bales. You got like this one, and then there's probably a really tiny one or something, but yeah, there's not a whole lot of choice, and this thing is so long. Seeing if I can get it in here without hitting this fence. There we go. All right, let's get these down here and sell these, just these last 2. All right, let's drop these off. There we go. 3,500. And let's get back to the farm, grab that corn planter, and get to planting some corn. Now, since we have this hooked up with the trailed 3-point lifter, I can't fold that up. So the question becomes, can we take this over there like this? This is one reason why it's really handy to have these back roads. Yeah, I think we can actually, yeah. Very carefully get this big guy over there. Yep, oh yeah. I'd have to take off the lifter and then, you know, pick this up from the side, and but yeah, we got it. All right, and this will be the last of our holdup. What's going on here? Well, you know, I'm not 100%. Not 100% what's going on here. Sometimes there's different, yeah, let's keep going because I think it's planted. It just doesn't look like it. Which, yeah, I've seen it before. But, well, we know we planted there because you don't see the line. All right, so I came out here to this field and I started planting, but it's just become a complete mess. If you look at this field, you can see there's some places where you can clearly see that it's planted, like right here, for instance. You can see there's some places where it looks exactly as it did before, and then you can see places where there's lime. And I'm not sure if it's the planter, if it was the state of the field. It could be a little of both. But this has really been kind of a nightmare planting this field. And we might, well, this planter worked fine on our south field down there where we just were, but this here is a bit of a nightmare. You can see where I'm planting here, but other places you kind of just can't. I mean, look at this field. It's really hard to tell where I've been. Okay, you can see here where I've planted. Okay, here I can see where I've planted. I've been trying to... I got the outer edge of the field here, and then I started to do runs like this. So you can see on the map, it's like, oh, you've planted there. But when you look at the field itself, it's not quite as clear. It's not quite as clear. I don't like this planter at all. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this done in my own time, because this has just been... I might just see if we can sell this planter, even though, well, I used it for the south field. It worked fine, but it is not like in this field at all. It's just, it's kind of a nightmare to use, to be honest. So let's go ahead and let's work on some TMR for our cattle, because that's something I know how to do. That's fun, and our cattle really need it. All right, so we got the bale trailer parked back there. Let's drop that off, and let's go over here. Let's check and see how they are doing. We have... Oh, yeah, we've got silage. I looked at the bunker silo, and it's completely empty. But then I remembered, oh, yeah, that's silage right there. we're good. There's silage, there's straw, there's hay over here. We're good. Let's see. Can I peek over the fence and... Oh, I can cut right through there. How about that? Let's see. Food. 3,600 liters of food. Yeah, so as you can see, our cattle are... well, they're not going hungry yet, but they need food, clearly. So, let's grab our mixer over here, and let's get some food mixed up for them. Now, do you guys remember what kind of ratio I was doing with this? Because I don't totally remember. All right, so this has got I just checked. This has got a 14 cubic meter capacity. This mixer, 14 cubic meters. So we're going to want to... I'll feel it out. I'll feel out the ratio. We'll get it mixed. We've got... Is that a silage fork? Yeah, already down here. So we're just going to want to grab the loader. Okay, so 14 cubic meters. Let's put a couple hundred liters of the mineral feed in here to start off with. Let's just go ahead and get this in here now. I think 200 liters of it should be fine. There we go. Some of that in there and mixing. Now, let's go grab the loader and start shoveling some of this stuff in here. Oh, actually, before we do... Well, we got the tractor right here. Let's go grab some hay. Now, we're going to want to keep an eye on how much stuff we put in there because, yeah, I don't remember. It's been a few months. It was last year, wasn't it? I think it was last year when we last mixed feed for them, and I don't remember the exact ratio that I used. All right. So we got 4,500 liters here of the hay. So we're going to put one of these in and then try to do about the same amount of the silage. As long as our hay and our silage are about the same, same amount, we should be fine. Let's get the tractor hooked back up here and get that bale chopped up in there. There we go. Get that bale chewed up, mixed with the mineral feed. And we'll grab the wheel loader. Let's just leave the tractor running so that'll stay mixing. Do we want to use the silage fork? I mean, that's what it's for. I think that silage fork is about... I think it'll pick up basically half the amount that I, put in there with that bale. And I think that's how the mix worked last time. We'll see. So we'll just leave this here. I feel like a lot of things are just not quite working right this month in April. But, there's been a few opportunities where Murphy's Law could have bit me in the ass, and it didn't. I feel like I'm kind of paying for that now. I feel like some of the stuff that went incredibly right before is now, turning up the other way this time. But that's okay. Now, let's see how much silage we can scoop up with this. It's been a while since I've used this. It's been a couple months. All right. So we're going to put 2 scoops of this in there to go with our 1 bale. And I definitely could have parked that trailer a little farther away from this to give me more room to get in there, but it's okay. Let's get 1 more scoop of the silage. And so this will be close to the same amount of hay that we have. There we go. Put this in there. And now we'll just want some straw, like, I don't know, like half. Like maybe like, what do you think? I think like maybe, I think that'll be good. And that should be good right there for straw. There we go. And that should be a pretty good mix for the cattle. Just park this back here. And yeah, I will check to make sure the mix is good, of course. I mean, I could have had this thing up, but I didn't have it up. Yeah, the mix is fine. The cattle will be pleased with that. I'll mix them some more feed on my own time. I just wanted to, yeah, we want to get some food in there for them. And I should have checked what side is this discharging on. Okay, that's how we want it set. Now carefully down the road. This trailer is heavy. All right, let's get this turned on and mixing for the cows. There they are. We have, 20 cows still. Well, we started with 5, if you recall. Now we got 20. They're making a good amount of milk. Earlier this month, I sold another trailer load of milk. Yeah, they're producing milk pretty good. All right, here you go, cows. They were starting to get pretty hungry there. Wow, this new mixer, I forgot. This new mixer, I mean, well, it holds over twice as much as our last one. Yeah, this takes a minute to discharge. It's good, though. Remember that small one we had? It only held like 5,000 liters? Yeah, well, that was also when we had 10 cattle. So this is just much, much better. There we go. Just about got it. And all right, now, can we back this out of here? I mean, yeah, but it's tight. It's tight. Come on. Oof. That's tight. Really tight. And, you know, my neighbor down there with the cattle farm, my friend Nick, he's got that big green Fendt tractor, you know, that, that Vario. I don't know if you've seen me run that thing through his cattle pens. His cattle pen is the same size as this one. And when I fed his cattle, I ran his Fendt Vario through there. And let me tell you, if you thought that was a tight fit there with the Zador, you should see his tractor fit through there. Oof, it's rough. It's tight. Yeah, I like his tractor. There was, that's why I want to head to the dealership again. That'll be next month. They've got a used Fendt. It's not like his. It's a little different, but anyway. That'll be next time. So, we got the cattle fed. That's great. That's something I wanted to do. I was getting frustrated, I'll be honest. I was getting, it should be quite obvious. I was frustrated trying to plant that corn. I just could not tell where I had been. And the planter has other things about it that kind of annoy me. And I'm about to jackknife this. Let's see if we can straighten this out here. I get this parked back. Where should go? A little carefully here. This parked back here. There we go. We'll leave this here. And I think that's about it. Except we do need to finish planting that corn. Yes. I want to fertilize our wheat field. Let's head down to the store and see about renting a tractor. They've got those Zadors sitting out there in front. Let's see about just renting one of those. I mean, that is literally the thing that makes the most sense. That is probably the thing in this episode that makes the most sense. They literally have these little Zador tractors out in front. Let's see if we can rent one with narrow wheels to go fertilize our field. I feel like a lot of things here at the end of April have just not worked like the way I thought, or something like that. This makes just the most sense. All right, so I was just talking to the guy in the shop there, and we're going to lease one of these. I already got it out here running. It's one of these little Zador Majors they have parked out here. We're just going to use this little guy right here. We got it, it's got narrow tires. Did I shut our tractor down? Let me make sure our tractor's not still running. Well, look at this cute little thing. Yeah, it's like our little brother. It's like our tractor's little brother. Yeah, I think I shut it down. Yeah, I don't hear it running. All right, so let's get this out to the field. We're only leasing it just for, I don't want to pay for any more time on it than we have to. Oh, wow, this is a kind of a cute little thing, isn't it? It's weird because it, in ways it looks like our tractor, but it's like a, I was going to say like a I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I was going to say, when I was a kid, I used to play with these little tiny toy cars. They were called micro machines. I don't know if they're even still a thing, but they were back in the 80s, okay? And I was going to say, it's like driving our tractor, but it's like a micro machine. Man, I used to love those things. Those things were so cool. I had like hundreds of them, too. Forgot about that. Yeah, back in the 80s, little tiny cars. Oh, I used to beg my mom to go to Toys R Us and buy the little micro machines. All right, anywho, where did we leave our fertilizer? I think it's down here by the silo. Man, this little guy, it's a cute little thing, but man, it is slow. It's just weird because it looks so much like ours, but when I drive it, yeah, it's like it's so small and it's so slow, but it looks like ours, but it's not. And I'm hoping this is where I left the fertilizer. I've been kind of leaving stuff willy-nilly laying around everywhere, and yeah, I left it up here. Excellent. Yeah, because it took me a minute to get down here at 19 miles an hour. Now the question is it too heavy for this little tractor? This tractor weighs half what our Zetor does. Half. It's got about half the horsepower, and it weighs half as much. Yeah. Well, it probably weighs about as much as that fertilizer spreader. I'm afraid to hook this up. Alright. Well, we're going to have to take it slow. We've got all four wheels on the ground, but we're going to have to take it really, really slow. Really slow back to the road. You notice it does have a weight on the front, and that, I think, is the only thing keeping our front wheels on the ground. So I'm going to take it down to the field nice and slow and easy, because here, I'll show you. When I hit a bump, if I were to hit a bump, the front wheels come off the ground. You see them kind of skidding around there? See, that's why the front's sliding around. Oh, yeah, that's right. Remember earlier, I turned onto this road here with our tractor, with our Zetor, and then my front wheels came off the ground, and I slid into the field. Yeah, this thing is doing it horribad. See, look when I take this turn here. Yeah. We want to be careful not to run through our neighbor's field, too. So I'm going to drive it really carefully down to our wheat field down here. I don't want to slide off the road. But I think we do want to reevaluate our tractor fleet a little bit. I like the tractors we have, but we need another one, of course. And something with small wheels definitely is something we should have for the farm. So I want to kind of reevaluate what we have. I don't want to get rid of our Zetor because, though I've thought about it before, I'm really attached to it because we bought it new, brand new from the dealership. And yeah, I'm attached to it. Now, this might be able to do this, I think, in one pass up the field. And then we can return the tractor, wash it off, and return it. Do you think we can do this in one run? I say, let's not try, because we might end up having to patch it on both sides. I say let's just do like one run, like 2/3 of the way through the field, and then, you know, do another. That way we're only making 2 trips up the field. And I think that I didn't set this back properly. There we go. Turn our settings out a little bit. Yeah, we'll get this side of the field and we'll come back down, and then we'll be able to return this tractor, and our wheat field will be all fertilized. Of course, we'll want to check and make sure. That's a good little tractor and all. But yeah, it weighs 3.9 tons. It's not terribly heavy. Yeah, I think I could have got this all in one pass. Well, you never know for sure. You know, I've done that so many times before. Run up the middle of the field, and then you got to run back on both sides. So let's turn this down a little bit. No need to waste fertilizer. And yeah, I checked, and that side of the field over there is fully fertilized, so this will finish it off right here. Let's get this strip down here. Well, it's a beautiful day out today. It's been rainy through April. Yeah, last episode I recall wasn't it cloudy the entire day, and it was rain. Yeah, it was. It rained in the morning and then it rained again in the evening. Yeah, April's been really cloudy and rainy, but look at today. I mean, there's clouds, yeah, but it's definitely a lot nicer than it was. We'll see how May is going to be. I don't know yet, of course. I haven't looked. All right, and there we go. That is that field fertilized. Let's drop this fertilizer spreader right here. You got to be really careful driving it with this tractor. So let's go ahead and set it down here in our grass field. I'll come back and get it. Let's get this little tractor washed off and returned. I mean, it's not dirty or anything, but it's a rental, so let's take it back in the same condition we got it in, shall we? Our equipment's dirty, but man, it's a pretty little tractor. I mean, with the right tools and the right size field and with the right conditions, it'd be a great tractor to have, but our farm has kind of outgrown such a small little tractor. We used to have, when we first started here, if you recall, we had a little Ursus about this size. All right, so I'm gonna get this back down to the shop and we can return this guy, and we'll have a look at that cornfield. I had to step away from that cornfield for a minute. It was frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. It was quite frustrating. I had to step away from it because just planting it was a hassle. But I got the outer edge of it all planted, and I know where we've got left to plant, and I think I want to be selling that corn planter. I think, you know what? I think, yeah, we're going to sell that corn planter today because we're going to have all our corn planted. We won't have a need for it, and I'll tell you, it's been so frustrating. I want the thing off my farm. It makes an annoying noise when it plants, A. I mentioned that last episode. B, it's hard to tell exactly where its edge is. There's a lot of unplanted strips left because it's kind of hard to see where the edge of it is, and also sometimes it's just hard to see where it's been at all. It's quite frustrating, and it's not the biggest tool in the shed either. We've got big tractors that could pull a much wider one. I should have I should have spent more money and gotten a bigger one is what I should have done. All right, let's just park this out front here, and thank you, sir. Return this and return. I don't usually lease stuff, so I'm making sure that the thing is right. Return, yes. Okay. And I don't see how much that costs. Oh, I thought it was going to say how much it cost. Maybe it takes the money out when you lease it. Like, seriously, yeah. Like, I never lease equipment. I didn't see. Maybe it charged me when I picked it up. Yeah, I think so, because I think we had $203,000. I don't know. I'll see later. I'm sure you guys all see in editing. I think it was like a couple $1,000s, but it's okay. We needed it. Something I didn't have, so... oh man, ours looks so big now. We got a big boy. Yeah, well, if you recall, when we bought this, we had to go to the city to the dealership there to get it because they don't carry this model here. They just have they have the Major and the Proxima. Is that the other one, the slightly bigger one? Ours is a Crystal. I think these are the Proxima. It's hard to see. I can't really get up there. Oh, Forterra. They have the Forterra, and the Proxima. Yeah, ours is the Crystal. Ours is the next step up. I would just sell that planter and buy a new one right now because, like I said, I'm fed up with it. But I want our money for another tractor purchase, possibly, as I've mentioned a couple times. I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know if it's even still there. But obviously, I've been thinking about it a lot. I saw it out of the corner of my eye last time we were there when we bought the Big Bud. Now, while we're on our way back out to the cornfield, I want to make sure that any tools here are put away. And yeah, I think everything here is put away. It's good. Because I didn't want anything sitting out. What was that bump I just ran over? Oh, I see. There's a raised portion right there where the silo is. Okay. Because next month, of course, this corn is going to be growing up, and I don't want to, have anything blocking where we're driving here. All right, so let's get the rest of this planted. And this is the last we'll be using this planter. Not a fan of it. And I think when the corn grows in, I think we'll see little tiny places here and there where it's not quite planted. Once I get this little section here, it's just kind of the north-southy runs that will be left, I think. But I like to do the field like properly, like all in, you know, not in bits like this. I like to do the field like it should be done. And it's been incredibly hard, this field, with this planter. Now, for this up here, where we need to plant, I believe right here is where we need to go. And we want to go at about this exact, I'm going to set my angle right there. This exact angle actually is exactly where we need to be for this run. Yep. And that should line up perfectly there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, feeling out the angle this field runs at, but I remember the run I came south. I ran at 160 degrees south, so we're going to go 340 north. And if we follow this, I mean, you can see where we've been, but on some parts of the field it looks planted, some it looks lighter, some it looked darker. It was really hard to tell. But this will get us done here. Just that dark portion there is what we need to plant. And I think we'll want to do another another row by the road here, so we're not running out onto the road. This thing's hard to turn around too, partially because of that short drawbar. Yeah, it makes it want to kick around really fast. It's hard to turn it and back it up, and it's just hard to deal with in general, this planter. And we got the fence up here. This fence is practically invisible when you're coming up to it. It's hard to see. I won't lie, I've run into it a couple times and I've had to fix it. Alright, let's try to back this up, but yeah, it likes to kick around really fast because it's so short. I don't like short trailers. I don't like short trailers. There we go. May as well do another run south along here as long as I'm already facing this way. Alright, I'm going to get this set for another run north, and soon we'll have this done. We'll be selling this planter. Get this parked down here and set. There we go. Guys, thanks so much for joining me on this last episode of April. April was 2 episodes because, yeah, there's so much to get done between the mowing and the baling and the selling of the bales, the messing around with that, the planting of the corn. It's been a very productive month, though, despite a few things that have kind of come out not quite the right way. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I will see you next time in May. We're going to be going to the dealership in the city to check for a used Fendt that I saw there before. That'd be a great addition to the farm. We've saved up some money for that, so that should be good. We'll probably be selling some grain as well, the soybeans and possibly some corn, if we need some more extra money, which I think we might. And we'll see what else needs doing in May. Guys, thanks so much for following along in April, and I'll see you guys next time.